Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning.
Good morning. Look who woke up wet this morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's wet.
Can we get a camera shot on Maddie? Look at her.
I'm so over this show already. It's freaking 8:01.
I mean,
so
I didn't
fresh
tell you
today.
to walk in the rain. I mean, this is a you problem. You set yourself up for that joke.
Why? Because it freaking rained on me? So all of a
If you
sudden
showed
I'm a
up
joke now.
47 seconds earlier,
Yep. Do you own the
you would have
umbrella?
avoided it.
Well, we all know who I am, so.
Yep, you're the Mrs. 3 Second. Let's get the show started. Fish,
Oh
what the hell are
my
you doing,
God.
buddy? What the fuck? Fish, you know the show started, right? Are you aware? All right, go in the fucking booth. Go. Fish, I'm being so serious.
That was the best thing in
Go
the
to
world.
the booth. What the fuck?
Although Adham deserves every middle finger imaginable. That one was unnecessary.
Thank you, Terry. Jesus
Holy
Christ,
smokes.
Fish. Good morning, everybody.
Happy hump day.
Happy Hump Day. I was going to say that.
I was hoping we'd get through the day without saying it. But anyways, Troy Weaver at it again last night, Terry.
Yeah, I saw that. Gosh.
We're going to get Jeff Iafrate in, get his thoughts as well. The Pistons trade. They trade for Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, 2 second-rounders, all to acquire a cash dump, really.
All right. I have never heard of a trade where you don't give up anything. This is the
they
first time in
acquired-
history.
Well, they acquired.
I understand that,
Cap.
but you didn't give up draft picks or players. I've never heard of a trade where it's like, here, we just want stuff, but we're not giving you anything. First time in history. And who did it? Troy Weaver.
Oh, so you don't want me here anyways?
No.
Okay,
bye.
so yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
you
you
can
there.
go get wet with Fish.
Okay.
Anyways, Fish, what are you doing? Again, what are you doing? Buddy. Hello, are you okay this morning?
I don't know.
If you don't go in that audio booth right now, you and Maddie are going to get fired in like less than 30 seconds. Jesus Christ.
He wants to make sure that
There's nothing to make sure about, dude. Thank you. Holy hell. I'm not trying to be an asshole this morning, Fish, but what the hell are you doing?
Fixing the camera. What do you want me to do?
We're trying to talk about the Detroit Pistons. So
Okay.
please focus on the audio part.
You can talk about the Detroit Pistons while I fix this
Jesus
camera.
Christ, no, I can't because you're in the shot.
wow.
Jesus. Hi, Jeff.
How you doing? How you guys
Terry
doing?
just said it.
Jazzy
How do you make a
Jeff?
trade where you don't give up anything? Look, I think Nerlens Noel, serviceable backup.
Yeah.
Alec Burks, I like it. That's kind of the veteran guard you were looking for anyways. 2 second-rounders, irrelevant. You took on some cap, no problem. The Knicks now can move for Jalen Brunson. I think Troy Weaver, an underrated trade. I don't think it's going to send Pistons Nation into a frenzy. I don't think people are going to be, throwing a party down at LCA because Miles Bridges or DeAndre Ayton came to town, which is probably done by now. But
Yep.
the point is, that's a good trade. And that's a trade, again, there's like no cost to the Detroit Pistons outside of what? Nothing. Literally nothing. You added 2 veteran players, something you were going to do in free agency. You just took
Right.
on their contracts. Those are expiring contracts coming up soon. And on top of that, you still have enough money to go out and get 2-3 more veterans in free agency if you so chose to.
Yeah, no, it was a great trade. You didn't have to give anything up like Terry hinted at, and that's more so has to do with the Knicks. Like the Knicks want to clear cap space out for Jalen Brunson, and they're desperate to do that. So we get a second-round pick, our own second-round pick, and another heavily protected second-round pick, and you get 2 veterans. And Troy Weaver kind of talked about that too. He doesn't want a team full of 22-year-olds. You get 2 guys, 2 veterans, one Alec Burks, who I like a lot. I mean, Jaden Ivey, Cade, Killian, they're going to be able to learn a lot from him. He shot 40% last year on almost 5 attempts. So you address the shooting a little bit. And like you said, Nerlens Noel, he can be your bridge to Jalen Duren if possible. Jalen Duren can start in the G League. You have Nerlens Noel. Even if you move Nerlens Noel, if he feels like Jalen Duren's ready to play, it's a win-win. You add veterans. Troy Weaver in OKC, they had Nerlens Noel back there, so he's familiar with them. It was a great trade, man. Nothing sexy, like you said, but solid.
You know what I find sexy? Over the last 3 seasons, he shot over 40% from 3.
I like that.
While shooting more than 4 attempts a game. Not bad if you ask me, Terry.
That guy, I personally think Noel is garbage, but
Yeah, he's never healthy.
he does do something. He is a rim protector. But there's another thing, and I always would address this with an NBA team. You need a dude that's a little bit older. I don't want to call him a mentor, but he can settle the troops down when things get bad.
Right.
The old Pistons had a guy named I think that wasn't David Thompson. It was David Greenwood. David Greenwood didn't play on the Bad Boy Pistons, but if they got into a jam, they'd always come over here, say, "Uncle Dave, what do we do?" And that's what his function was. And I don't know if Noel is like that, but that would probably be his role.
There was also $6 million sent towards the Pistons' way, cash money.
So what are you gonna do with that money?
I want to say not completely covers the buyout with Kemba, but pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Again, this is just a smart trade. You get a veteran shooter that you can add to the team for a year, maybe 2 at most.
Yep.
Nerlens Noel is whatever. I'm not worried. If I'm Kelly Olynyk, I'm looking over my shoulder because I think you're next, buddy. And I don't think Troy Weaver's done.
I was just going to say, I don't think Troy's done. There's more contracts you can move if you want to clear up more cap space. Kelly Olynyk's an option. And we'll see. Maybe they can flip Nerlens Noel. You never know. So regardless, that's why I tweeted out, regardless if they stay or get traded again, it's a win. Like, they both have team options next year. So even if it doesn't work out, Troy can decline both their team options and you don't have no commitment. So this is what I love. Troy Weaver spoke about this too. He wants flexibility moving forward. You don't want to be stuck in it, signing Miles Bridges for $30 million per year and you're in a predicament. Now you have guys you can move off of and keeps the team flexible, which I love. That's how good general managers run their team. You keep your team flexible, keep your options open.
Well, speaking
just in
of
case.
keeping options open, 2023, looking ahead to next offseason. Yes, there will be a draft. Terry will get to whether or not this team's going to be a lottery team, even though the July 1st has not happened yet. So you have to wait and see. But you're not getting one of the 2 primary targets everyone expected you to go after, Ayton and Miles Bridges. But next season, Andrew Wiggins, Nikola Jokic, Nikola Vucevic,
Yep.
Miles Turner, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Porzingis, Caris LeVert,
It's a lot deeper.
Gary Trent Jr. There's a lot of players next year.
There is, but Troy Weaver's taking a huge gamble, though. He's got 2 guys he wanted to be here. Now, next season, is that going to be the case? I mean, you mentioned all those names, and they sound sexy, but tradition has been, if you're a top free agent, you've rejected Detroit's offers. So if he can get one of those guys, then good. But I don't think you can just say, we're the Detroit Pistons and we want this guy and that guy, and we'll get two out of the 4 that we really want. There's a huge chance that you could strike out in a rich free agent field next year because it's Detroit. It's the Pistons.
Yeah.
I think you can, but Jeff, your recruiting pitch is going to be Cade Cunningham going into year 3 after this season. Jaden Ivey ideally showing star potential, and Sadiq Bey taking that next step as well. I think there's a good recruiting pitch here in Detroit. Are they going to land, again, a top 5, top 10 free agent, at least a top 10 player in the league? I don't think so. But you don't need that. Again, you're building a young core, veteran players, people that fit the system, shooters, dynamic 4s, and you know what? I think you're good at the 5 moving forward. If you want to address the Isaiah Stewart situation in a few years, you have a few years.
Right.
I don't think he's anything more than a guy that comes off the bench and gives you minutes when your guy needs to rest. Jalen Duren has potential to be a 32, 34-minute guy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have one more? Nerlens Noel is whatever this year. But, Jeff, I think next year, looking ahead to free agency, they're not going to get Kyrie, LeBron, none of these guys. Nor would you even want them. I think Troy Weaver is telling you, I'm building this thing through the draft, and it'll probably take 4 or 5 years. And enjoy the ride. Unless something crazy happens and somebody becomes available, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, I think it's important for Troy also to just know what he has. Like, know what you have in Jaden Ivey. He hasn't even touched the summer league yet, Jalen Duren either. So I'm not really a big fan of signing Miles Bridges, considering the fact that Charlotte's already came out and said we want to bring him back. So if you can, you'd have to really sign Miles for the max to where Charlotte can't match it. If you sign him for a discount price, Charlotte's just going to match it. So it's pointless at the same time. I don't want to offer a max contract to Miles Bridges, and I'm talking $30 million per year. I'm just not on that train. I like what he's doing now, and just let them figure out. You're not going to be very good this season. We understand that. So get veterans. See what you have in Jaden Ivey. See what Cade looks like in his second year. See how Sadiq progresses, Killian Hayes, and the rest of the guys. And then you can address the roster and see what you need. I don't want – and I applaud Troy for not jumping the gun, trying to sign guys too early. He understands the process, and he understands how these things work. He comes from a professional organization with Sam Presti, so I got to give it to him. He's doing it well.
Basically, what he's doing is kicking the can down the road.
That's kind of where my question is. Looking at this team at face value for what it is right now, projecting Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, whatever you want to do.
Right.
This is a lottery team next year.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of difficult to convince anyone how they're not going to win more than 17, 18, 20 games, 22, 24 games, 26. Do they get to 30? I don't know. This is still very young.
Right.
Inexperienced. And even if I'm Dwayne Casey, okay, I know I'm part of the rebuild, but Jesus Christ, guys, you got to send me out there and lose another 54 games? Yo.
I know, but brother, how do you add Jaden Ivey and then win fewer games? Because you were talking about winning 17 games?
No, they'll clear 30.
We're projecting a top 5 lottery team.
Okay.
So just based on recent years.
If we can get to mid-20s to mid-30s, I think that's improvement to me. If you get 10 wins better, 12 wins better, I don't think. I mean, even if you get 35 wins, you might make the play.
You won 23 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, come on, 10 wins more. You can get 33 to 36. I think that's fair.
I don't think you can right now. 33 to 36 without free agents right now is a tough ask. That's such a young team.
But they won 23 with the injuries they had last season. So if everybody stays healthy, I think at least 30, minimum of 30. If you win 25, 26 games, I have a problem with it. I do.
That's a failure.
Yeah, I do.
That's big-time failure.
You added Jaden Ivey, and you added different pieces, and you regress.
Jaden Ivey's a rookie. And as much as I want him to go out there and put 18 a night.
But you think he's going to be the best rookie?
I think he'll be the best rookie out of this draft class.
If you go from 23 to 25, that means Jaden Ivey had a horrific year.
Not really. That means you have a very young team in the Eastern Conference that is very solid, 1 through 9. You're looking at this is it's a long-term game.
Right,
this is why I keep saying
I'm
4 to 5
here.
years. Jaden Ivey can give you 17 a night year 1, and you can still probably win 24, 25 games this year.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that
I want to give you a dictionary, and I want to teach you a new word.
All right.
Expectations. You should expect more. You are a huge Piston proponent and everything. So if you're going to allow the Pistons to add Jaden Ivey, add a center, and although they're young, and have another year of maturity of Cade Cunningham, and say they go from 23 to 25 games, and you're okay with that? That's baloney. Expect more. Be a man.
It's whoa. Okay.
Be a man.
All right, chill out. I'll tell you what.
Get him, Uncle T.
Yeah, get that BS out of here. I'll tell you why.
Well, be a man.
This is a young team. Go look at all the teams that have built the way that Detroit Pistons are building right now. You can go to the Golden State Warriors, a high, extreme, successful example, and the Celtics. Who does this team remind you more of? That's my question to you guys. The Warriors, back when they drafted Steph?
Probably the Celtics.
I think it's the opposite. Because the Celtics had veteran star players surrounding Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart early on. This is just a young team. There's no 35-year-old Al Horford sitting there getting you 12, 14, 16 a night consistently, getting you the extra 2-3 assists on your stat line that you probably wouldn't get if he wasn't on the court. This is a young team. Can they win 30 games? No one would be happier than me. I think it's too early. You have to wait till free agency. They're going to have to go after maybe another big man. Maybe they move Olynyk. I still think there's moves out there. I think it's too early to say that this team is going to improve by 7, 8, 10 wins.
I think, and the reason why
unless Cade's a superstar.
The reason why I'm saying that also is assuming, I mean, if $30 million.
They're going to make
roughly,
a move.
Right. They're going to add
choice.
more in free agency. So I think adding whatever is available, adding veterans. I mean, me and Sean made a video last night kind of walking through some free agents. If you can get some of those guys, no doubt in my mind, they should be at least 30 wins. Now, do I expect them to be 38, 40 wins? No. But I think clearing 25, if we can just get to 30, I think that's a step forward in a positive direction. What would that be? 3-4 consecutive seasons of at least just 20 wins? I mean, that's not acceptable.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Jeff. I know you got to go in the back, record another episode of Woodward Pistons, right?
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy.
We got Rod Beard.
Rod Beard.
The man.
Are you going to talk about Kevin Durant coming here?
No more of that. All right, we're
don't
not
let
pumping,
Adham know that.
We're not pumping that propaganda
I'll kill you.
No.
Anybody that says Kevin Durant to Detroit gets a baseball bat to the head.
I'll take names for you. I got you.
We got to go to break. When we get back, if Maddie ever wants to look at me and come back in the studio, that would be fantastic. But before we do, I got to tell you about MyBookie. Your place to be placing all of your sports bets. Football season's just around the corner, guys. Less than 100 days away. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. Also, don't forget UFC this weekend. Big event. Take advantage of their special promo offers. Use code Woodward when you sign up. And as always, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Adam allowed me to come back into the studio, so I guess here I am.
How nice of him.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman, I know. You're lucky Fish is still here.
Is it Friday yet?
Shut up, Fish.
Hump
My
day.
Friday. I'm not coming in the rest of the week.
Oh, might do the same thing.
Hey, let's go golfing, guys.
That sounds good.
Screw you, Adam.
I'll be down. Let's go golfing.
Bunch of unprofessionals.
Hey,
over
Maddie,
here.
you pick the course.
Okay. Say less.
How
Ooh,
about
let's go play at
How
Pine
about
Knob.
mute both of your mics and shut the hell up? Terry,
Thank
Tigers
you.
lost again.
Huh?
Tigers lost again.
They did. Big
Riley
4-3.
Green.
And
Riley
things
Green.
people would rather hear about us clowning you than the Detroit Tigers losing again.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
at
that's
least
the
they're,
case.
this is not good, but they're competitive in games.
Yeah, they're looking better, to be fair, right? They're not
Right.
losing by 70. That's nice.
Right. And
You
they've
know-
won a couple games this week.
I
Low
really don't
expectations.
even want to dive into the game as much as I just want to say this one more time. And I hope, because I said it yesterday, and I don't think the message was clear enough. I tweeted it out, Terry, my internal frustrations.
I think you made this perfectly clear.
I don't know. I don't think I have yet. It's June 29th, and this fat fuck is still in charge of the Detroit Tigers. Like, what are we doing here? I just want to know where the line is.
You do realize he's
I
going to be here
don't
till next
even
year.
want him to get fired anymore. I want somebody to identify a line that, you know what? All right, now this is the Unacceptable. Can't happen again. I need a line so I don't go fucking crazy of how some dude who's been around for 8 years and the team has gotten progressively worse in those 8 years is somehow still in charge of this baseball team. Someone. Just draw a line.
All right, what?
It could be an imaginary line. I
Because
don't care.
there's
I just
no
need a line.
There's no line. He'll be here till next year.
What is the word for the day, boys and girls?
Dumbass?
Expectations.
Oh.
Demand more of your teams. What you're doing of the Tigers, and you're not doing with the Pistons. Adam's like, oh, they go from 23 to 25 games. Hey, that's progress. No, it's not.
I didn't say it was progress.
Well, you were happy with it. You
I wasn't happy with it. I'm understanding of how young this team is and that they need 4 to 5 years to contend.
Were they young last year?
They were. Oh yeah, they were very young.
Did they have a bunch of injuries?
But they did have a ton of injuries.
And how many games did they win?
23.
So if the Pistons win 25, you're going to be saying, hey, good guy, oh, Troy, let me give you a hug.
Again, no, you're not going to just look at win totals. You're going to look at development. But damn it, Terry, I need a line drawn with the Tigers. We'll get to the Pistons back in a little bit. We have them coming up at 8:30. I need to know, what's the line you can't cross? What is it? Do we give him another deadline and he ships Tarek Skubal and, I don't know, Michael Fulmer for a bag of Doritos? Is that the line? What is it?
That's the line. We can't allow him to do that.
He's still in charge.
I know he's still in charge, but this is why Chris Ilitch got booed too. It wasn't just Avila getting booed, but it's Chris Ilitch. Chris Ilitch is like, I'm not going to make any moves because, I'm sure if he was here right now, Chris Ilitch would be pounding the table. I want to win. I'm going to do everything we can to win. Actions speak louder than words. He looks like a guy, okay, the train is coming. We got a truck in the middle of the railway. I'm not going to move it. Not yet. We're going to allow this guy who's failed trade after trade after trade, we're going to let him do it again.
I mean, you look at the Giants, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they had the worst record in baseball. Mm-hmm. Something along those lines. I believe it's 4 or 5. They won 101 games last year. They're on pace to win another 100 this year. And we're sitting here, year 6. I'm building a good analytics team. Chris, I'm gonna make a trade.
Hey, you gotta squat down.
Unbelievable. I can't. I just don't know how every day that goes by that Chris Ilitch can even look himself in the mirror and say, you know what, yeah, I'm doing a hell of a job here.
Adam, you gotta give him
Boy,
time.
am I holding people accountable.
You gotta have time to develop the players, Adam.
Time to develop these nuts, fish.
No. Here, fellas, here's what's needed. I got to sue. You've been bitching all summer, but you have offered no solutions.
I have a great solution.
Okay, I know.
But it involves me going to jail. So how about
the fat guy? I think this town needs another Millen Man march. Remember, you say Avila's worse than Matt Millen, right?
I think he's at that level.
The fans marched downtown wearing orange, protesting the fact that Matt Millen got a contract extension. Avila got one too. Need to hit downtown. I don't know if you're going to wear Hunter's orange stuff, but we need to wear something. There should be another protest downtown against Avila.
All right. If you're up for a protest with myself and everybody here at Woodward Sports, drop a yes or no in the chat. Alex, actually, can you put a poll? Who's up for a protest? I think we need to do it.
I'm down.
There's a lot of problems we have going on in this country. I think this is one of them.
Right.
I think this is one of the more urgent national crises that are going on.
Bam.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
we are talking national security is at stake with Avila in charge of the Detroit Tigers.
At least Detroit security.
We haven't faced such an obstacle in over 20, 30 years. I can't recall any other issue being more important than this issue right now.
Getting rid of Matt Millen. was just as important, if not more important, because people care more about the Lions than they do the Tigers.
Yeah, we got to get rid of this guy, Terry. Again, you can be bad at your job. Hell, you can make mistakes on the job.
You can.
I expect Brad Holmes, Troy Weaver, all these, the GMs we're giving a lot of credit for, they're going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But there's a difference between making a lot of good moves and then having, a handful of mistakes, and then just, a list that could go across the fucking whole Atlantic Ocean of mistakes, and then maybe 2 good things that you've done. Draft Tarek Skubal. That's about it. What's Avila? Oh, hire AJ Hinch. Thank you. He got scapegoated out of Houston, which was the only reason he even had a chance. And the White Sox were dumb enough not to even hire him.
Oh, they got the great Tony La Russa,
Who can't even freaking remember what inning it is or what the pitch count is. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Terry.
I'm enjoying the show. I'm getting a front row seat of you boiling down. But something has to be done. The fan base here can't be quiet or sit on the sideline while Avila approaches another trade deadline. Are you going to fire him after the trade deadline? It's too late then. That's like letting the horse out the barn and then closing the door.
At this point, you have the deadline coming up you have the draft coming up in what, late July? No, mid-July. July 17th, I believe. What are you going to let him do? We're going to let him pick again? Okay, go for it. Right. And then what?
And
trade deadline? He's going to give away all your young core. And I wish I was joking. I'm not being dramatic this morning. This is exactly what he's going to do. Hey, I'm looking to shop Tarek Skubal and Michael Fulmer. You interested, Jade? Yeah, I am. Now, how about I fill your Gatorade machine for the next 3 years, Al, and I'll send you a year's supply of Subway because your fat ass needs to get in shape. How does that sound, Al? No one's ever offered me anything better. That's the deal.
I like Subway.
I lose my shit that morning. I probably blow this whole place up, get the flamethrower out. I don't know. But do you really trust this guy? And I don't need to sit here and tell Chris Ilitch. I don't give a shit about what Chris Ilitch does in his spare time. But if you can't figure out that it's just not working with this guy, you have problems, man. You really do. It doesn't take me, Terry, anybody else in this freaking town, or all of you in the chat. It doesn't take anything to realize 8 years, 6 of which have actually been a rebuild, none of which have led us to anywhere further than where we were 6 years ago. We're not further along the path of being contenders. The only jumpstart or the only boost we got was that you hired a top 5 manager, which made your baseball team look a lot better than what it was last year. Right. And had players have some of their better career years that weren't normal, that you just never got out of them before.
You know why Chris Ilitch does this? Because he can get away with it. There's no pressure on him. What Chris Ilitch needs to see when the Tigers come back into town, 5,000 people in the stands, if that. And the only people downtown are the Tiger fans protesting, but they're not going in Comerica Park. He's sitting back. I like Al. That's my guy. I believe in him. I don't care how long the rebuild is, because he doesn't have people down his throat. Yeah, he heard the boos, and they weren't even that loud.
Yeah, because there was nobody at the stadium. I don't know, Terry.
There really needs to be nobody at the stadium. I'm talking about 5,000. Game after game after game.
Look, this is not hard, Chris. Somebody in your management team isn't good enough. You can either move on now and salvage next season, or you can let it drag on and royally fist the entire fan base. Which one do you prefer? clearly you're interested in fisting everybody that buys tickets to go to your ballpark. Makes no sense to me.
You know what he's doing? He's pulling a William Clay Ford with the Lions. For you younger people who see the Lions firing coaches all the time, it wasn't this way. It used to be you could be incompetent and keep your job with the Lions for 20 years, 15 years. You can be incompetent and your job was never on the line. That's what Chris Illich is doing. He's pulling a William Clay Ford Senior thing.
I can't believe it.
No pressure.
I really can't. But what I can believe is that Big Boy has brought the buffet back. And boy, does it look good, Maddie.
Yes, it does. Big Boy has brought back their classic buffets every weekend from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So head on over to your local Big Boy. Try out some of their classics like the Slim Jim, Dolly Chicken Sandwich, and, of course, the original Big Boy. Find your nearest location at bigboy.com.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've got a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on this rainy Wednesday morning. It's gloomy, just like Adam's attitude.
Let's call him Gloomy Adam.
Hey,
The hell did I do to you?
what didn't you do?
You are a little gloomy.
Hey!
He's a gloomy guy.
I do nothing but compliment you all morning. And
That
that's what I
is
get.
such bull crap.
Started the show, acknowledged that you were wet. That's a compliment. Lots of people struggle with that.
I was going to buy you an umbrella.
Oh, man.
Why don't we just start calling Adam GG? Gloomy guy.
Gloomy guy. GG. I like that.
No, he likes it
God.
better when you call him Cutie Pie.
Yep.
No, not a
yes, he
fan.
does.
Oh, God. All right, Terry, I kind of hinted at it earlier, and you brought it up. I do think Jaden Ivey will be the best player to come out of this draft. Let's just look at the first three picks. Paulo Banchero comes on late. I don't really care that the Magic didn't work him out. His body of work is on film for over 6 months. I think that's irrelevant. In Orlando, it's interesting, right? Jalen Suggs, super young project. You even go to OKC, Chet Holmgren. I thought the best situation for him was OKC. No pressure of being the number 1 overall pick. You're number 2. You're in OKC. Everyone understands they're in a rebuild. Good situation. Jabari Smith, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jalen Green. I'm not sure how that's going to work, to be honest with you, but they got a lot of talent. That's all I know. But there's one guy of all the players drafted in the top 5, hell, even the top 10. There's one guy that just fell into the right place. And, Keegan Murray is up there in Sacramento. He'll be a better version of a role player there. But Jaden Ivey to walk into a situation where you have an unselfish, rising superstar in Cade Cunningham, who is not going to get in his own way and is always going to make the right play. And he's going to play on the ball, which allows you to play off the ball, cut to the basket, get to the rim, which is things Jaden Ivey is very, very good at. He's playing in a town that he's very emotionally connected to. And I believe of the first 5 players selected, his reaction to being drafted was, I think we got the guy. Typically, no, the draft reaction doesn't tell you anything, right? Josh Rosen sat up there and said, I'm going to make all those teams that passed on me pay. It didn't work out for Josh Rosen, but it worked out for Lamar Jackson. Worked out for Aaron Rodgers. And I think it'll work out for Jaden Ivey. I think when we redraft this draft 3-4 years from now, Ivey will be in the top 2.
You know what the draft experts are now calling this? You know how they call this the big 3 in the draft. They're now calling it the Big Four. And the fourth person is Jaden Ivey. Now, I want to put people at ease as well. His shooting percentage wasn't that high. Okay, you know why? It's not that he can't shoot. It's just that at Purdue, he took some wild-ass shots that he's not going to be asked to take in the NBA. He can shoot. His shooting percentage should go higher because he's not going to be off balance and, throwing shots off his head into the basket. He's going to be in a structured offense. He's not going to be the focal point of the Pistons offense. Cade Cunningham will, and Jaden Ivey is going to be allowed to do his thing.
I don't understand the shooting percentage complaints because he was 47% from the field his last year in Purdue and 36% from three.
Which is very good for a guard.
I mean, that's what you want. I'll take that in the NBA. Now, everybody's LeBron James and Giannis, and they shoot 52, 53%.
What Giannis is...
And they're freaks of nature, by the way.
And a lot of their buckets are at the
rim.
Right.
And you know what? To be fair, again, Ja Morant. Let's look at Ja Morant's first 2 years in the league. What has Ja Morant done? Because he's a guy that attacks the basket at a high level. And that's somebody, Is Jaden Ivey Ja Morant? No. But he is compared to Ja Morant because of his athleticism, Terry. His first year in the league, 47% and 34% from three. Year 2, 45% from the field, 30% from three. And then this past season where he became a star in front of our eyes, 49% from the field, 34% from three. 47 and 36 coming out of college. Not bad if you ask me.
Now, if you're a guard and can shoot anywhere near 50%, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, look.
I'll set it for 45%.
Yeah, look, anything more than 45 year one, I think, is very good. What Cade shoot this year? 42%, 43%?
And
I don't hear anybody saying Cade Cunningham has a problem.
But he got off to that real rough start, too, so it was probably higher the last 2-3 months
Down
of
the
season.
stretch, he was probably at 48, 49%, I'd say, from the field. But Jaden Ivey's potential, just talk about this a lot with quarterbacks in the NFL. What situation are you drafted to, right? Are you Joey Harrington and you're going to the Detroit Lions? Or are you Lamar Jackson and you fall to the Ravens? Or Aaron Rodgers and you fall to the Packers? Or you're Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs trade up to get you and pair you with Andy Reid?
Right.
The Pistons, and Jaden Ivey specifically, Jaden Ivey fell to the best situation for him. Had he gone to Orlando, Jalen Suggs, I don't think Orlando was ever going to take him, but you could probably make it work in Orlando. You got Josh Giddey. You got Gilgeous Alexander. I'm not sure how that's going to work in OKC. Same situation in Houston. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter. And then you go to Sacramento. They prefer Davion Mitchell over Jaden Ivey. That's a them problem. I can't help them. Thank you guys so much. But he fell into a situation where Saddiq Bey will play off the ball if needed. And he can. He's capable. He's shown it before, and he can handle the rock.
Well, he didn't fall into the situation. He was calculating in trying to get here because
he did not work out. If I remember,
he would not work
correct?
out with Sacramento. He through back channels, he told them he doesn't want to go there. And I don't mean if that means it's a possibility. If you draft me, I'm going to cause problems. I don't think that happened, but I don't know that for sure. But he made it known he didn't want to go there. He made it known he wanted to come here. So he didn't exactly fall here. I think Sacramento's like, well, we don't want to deal with anything. Because when a guy says he doesn't want to go to Sacramento, it's not pretty. Sacramento is the Siberia of the NBA. Guys don't want to play there. They don't want to go there. They don't even want to go there on a road trip. So they knew that if they drafted Jaden Ivey, they're going to have problems. They didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, look, I look at the Jaden Ivey pairing with Cade. I think it's a match made in heaven. I look at a player that's leading the point, if you want to say it. That way, Cade Cunningham, who will distribute the ball and is a willing passer, and is also a guy that can put up buckets, along with Saddiq Bey. But let's just focus on Cade and Ivey. Again, Cade will command. He commanded a higher double team percentage then Steph Curry, Kevin Durant down the stretch, post All-Star game. I mean, that is something. That doesn't happen by accident. And with Jaden Ivey, again, you're gonna double Cade. Well, who are you leaving open?
Right. And to double him at such a high rate means also that you have bad teammates or teammates that the rest of the league doesn't respect.
I like Anthony's projection and comment. Ivey will be a GOAT if he can be 45% from the field and 35% from three. I think that's a solid year one. I don't know. You guys go find me the young stars that came into the league and just lit it up, outside of Luka in recent memory. Trae Young didn't light up the league year one. Even John Morant, he didn't light it up. He was, 17 a night year one? Luka, yeah. Different situation. Came from overseas, has been playing against grown men for the longest time.
Well, that's good, because back in the day, even the top-rated rookies often didn't average 10 points a game their rookie year.
Kobe didn't.
Right. So there's the growing pains. There's and they have to deal with grown men kind of screaming at them, saying, you're a rookie, you're no good, you're a scrub.
Well, let's look at D-Wade in Miami. D-Wade was selected number 5 overall in that infamous draft with LeBron James, Darko Milicic, Chris Bosh. Terry, year one, what do you think he averaged?
It's 8.9?
No. He was solid year one.
13.5.
He averaged 16, 4, and 4.
Solid.
That's kind of what you'd want from Jaden Ivey, to be honest with you, in this situation. 45% from the field, 30% from three.
Okay.
Again, different era, right? The three-point shot wasn't the most important aspect of the game in 2003. But still, this is a guy, if you're... the way I look at Jaden Ivey, Terry, is a slasher first and foremost. A guy that's going to get to the basket. I think the secondary game that he'll develop and continue to develop is a three-point shot, just because of the nature of the NBA. He's going to need to get it down, which I think he will. And then the third underrated aspect of his game is going to be his passing. It's not going to be defense. It's not going to be being able to knock down 4 or 5 threes a game. Nobody needs that year one, year two, year three. But passing, we're talking about player development. This is a guy who eventually, if he turns into a star, he's going to command attention.
Right. Passing / decision making, because he's going to get to the cup, but at some point the league will adjust, and it's not always going to be open for him. He's going to be at the rim. There's going to be, 9 7-foot guys then daring him to shoot. In situations like that, he has to know where his teammates are, and that may take a little bit of time because he's got to learn the offense. He's going to know where Sadiq Bey is, where Cade Cunningham is, so that he can flick that pass to them either mid-range or probably on the perimeter for an open three-point shot. That's what he's going to have to learn.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, there are many things that upset me in life outside of Avila. This next conversation will upset me. Henrik Zetterberg not inducted into the Hall of Fame, his first year of eligibility. Meanwhile, the Sedin brothers and Roberto Luongo get in. I'm going to have fun with this, Terry. But before we go, I got to tell you about where you need to go to get in shape, and that's at Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone. Start today by signing up for $0 down, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. Visit planetfitness.com or one of their many Metro Detroit locations and get your health on track today.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Our friends at Alto Equipment know that when it comes time to getting your job completed on schedule and on budget, uptime matters. Alto Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. So if you've got a big project coming up, give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alto Equipment, where uptime matters.
Oh, God. Stanley Cup winner. Captain of the 2008. Captain of the Detroit Red Wings after Nicholas Lidstrom retired. Henrik Zetterberg. First year of eligibility in the Hall of Fame. Terry doesn't get in. 960 career points, 337 goals, 623 assists. The Sedin brothers got in. And I don't know, Terry, if you remember back in the day, you know what Vancouver, the Sedin brothers, and Roberto Luongo were really famous for?
Choking. Right.
Choking on 3-1, 3-2 leads, multiple occasions. And
I hate to say this, but these Hall of Fame things, a lot of it is decided, I think, on just publicity. The Sedin brothers got so much pub in the NHL circles, and Zetterberg didn't, because Zetterberg was part of a team with other Hall of Fame caliber guys, and I think the Sedin brothers are like, oh boy, the Sedin, and they got so much pub. I think that's why they got in.
I don't understand it. A Conn Smythe winner, career high 43 goals, 49 assists, in the year that the Wings won the Cup. Followed that up with a 31 goal, 42 assist season. It is beyond me. A guy that was always in the conversation for the Lady Byng Award, always in the conversation for the Selke Award. Sedin brothers deserve to get in. Roberto Luongo, I guess everybody just gets in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Maybe it's like basketball. Everybody gets in if you play long enough. Yeah. If you play long enough, I think you just get in. So maybe next year, Henrik. What?
Well, if you get almost 1,000 points, come on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking at more than just how many points you scored. The Sedin brothers, for example, 1,041, 60 more points. 60 more points. That's it. And they played 2 more years than Henrik Zetterberg.
Maybe that's it.
Unreal. Oh, excuse me. He won an Art Ross Award. Excuse me.
I don't even know if the Art Ross is.
It's an award for player who was deemed most valuable, I believe, to their team. Not the it's
not
most
MVP.
Valuable. No, it's I want to say the Art Ross Trophy is most valuable, most valuable voted on by the Players Association and coaches and players.
That shouldn't even count.
The hell if I know. I'm losing my mind. Beyond the point, Terry. Again, frustrating, dude. It's really frustrating. This is a guy that, again, 60 more points, 40 more goals than Henrik Zetterberg. Very similar amount of assists. Again, the Sedin brothers get in. I love the Sedin brothers, by the way, growing up. I thought that was so cool. I thought it was awesome. So you know what, Henrik? You're not in the Hall of Fame because you didn't have a twin brother. Sorry, buddy.
That's probably it. But it can't be an anti-Detroit thing, because the Wings are like the New York Yankees of the NHL. People want to see them succeed. They are good for the league. So I don't know why this happened. Can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know what Zetterberg does have that neither of those individuals have? He has a Conn Smythe.
That's
won
important.
2007-2008 final.
Sure.
Disappointing.
Got a ring.
All good. I'll move on. I'll move on. Just my daily frustration over, I think, stupid voting.
I'm sure the Zetterberg family appreciates it.
We'll see. We got 10 minutes. You know what? I do want to bring up this Supreme Court issue.
Okay.
So you tell me what's going on.
What's going on?
I'm not fully up to speed with this.
There is a coach in Bremerton, Washington, and what he would do is he prayed at the end of games, and his players joined him, and which is a common theme across the country. I've gone to high school games, covered high school games, and I would say most of the time the coach takes a knee, prays, and his team prays with him. But this time, the parents complained, said it's should be a separation of church and state. That he is an official of a government entity, the school board, that he's an employee, that he represents the public schools, and so he shouldn't be allowed to pray at the end of games with his players. And so what parents were saying, well, sometimes my son doesn't feel comfortable praying. Maybe he's not Christian, maybe he's not real religious, and that their fear was that if he didn't take a knee with the coach, that it could affect your playing time. So this case goes all the way to the Supreme Court, because previously there was the separation of church and state, and even though it happens, technically you weren't allowed to pray with your team. But now the Supreme Court, 6-3 decision, says that what the coach did was fine, that he should be allowed to pray with his kids, and no repercussions for him.
So when I was in high school, before our football games, we used to do a group prayer. And it was two groups of, religions in the room that made a majority of the team. You have, of course, you had your Christian friends, and then there was the Muslim friends, and it was about 60-40, 50-50. It was a pretty good amount, and we kneeled and prayed on their behalf, and then we did the same vice versa.
So you did two prayers.
We did two prayers before every game, and none of us had a problem with it. And you know what? I actually think it's beautiful, because you're respecting someone else's practices, which is so good about this country. By the way, maybe you guys don't understand how this country works. You can actually practice any religion or no religion that you so choose to in this country, and in other countries, you get your head cut off for it.
Which is not good. That hurts.
So I don't have an issue with it. I wouldn't have an issue with my kid kneeling and doing a prayer before a game. Even if it's not even of his own, who cares? It is a faith-based action. It has nothing to do with the school. It has nothing to do with anything other than a group of individuals praying for themselves before they go into a game or whatever it is. I don't see an issue with it. And we want to talk about separation of church and state. Okay, Supreme Court, take notes. I thought we're supposed to separate church and state, right? Is that why we decided to overrule Roe and Wade? Or should we not bring that up?
Well, Roe and Wade doesn't have anything to do with church.
Does it, though? If you look at that group of individuals that are in charge of the Supreme Court.
Well, you're looking at the people who are making the decision. I'm saying that the actual Roe versus Wade, this is not a church versus state issue, although the church, most of the people who are on the quote-unquote church state.
Is it not, though? Because how is it that hours, not even hours, less than an hour, maybe hour and a half after the decision, individuals are receiving emails from the Democratic Party. Hey, if you donate and we're going to fight for your rights. What the hell were you doing the last 4 years?
Well, the last 4 years, they didn't fight for that because it was on the books that you could have legal abortions in the United States. the side that wanted to abolish abortions, they're the ones that fought hardest.
Look, I can understand, and I respect the hell out of this, giving the state the absolute power, or should have the power to make decisions. And this is really the case. They didn't ban it. It'll be the state's decision. But there are some things that you just need to protect, and I feel this is one of them. I don't care what you do in your life. I don't care what choices you make. I actually really don't care about anything. I really don't. I live my own life. But when we make decisions that impact hundreds of millions of people that live in this country, because 4 out of the 7 people thought it was a good idea, Supreme Court.
Or 6 out of the 9.
So supreme. So supreme, huh?
Yeah, but that's the way we work.
Should operate. We shouldn't pass things and do things because it benefits our political party. We should do what benefits 330 million Americans. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all are. That's not hard. That's not a hard concept to understand. So yes, going back to the high school situation, I don't care. I personally don't care. I don't have an issue with it. Hell, like I said, when I was in high school, we used to pray before games, and I had no issue with it. My parents didn't have any issues with it, and I come from a pretty, well-versed family, at least in religion. And we didn't care, because at the end of the day, it's all with good intention. You're not sitting there in the huddle right before a game doing a prayer like, all right, we're going to convert all you to Christianity. That's not how it works. Jesus Christ, people.
Are you Muslim or Christian?
Muslim.
Okay. Now, what if the Christian coach had a quote-unquote Christian player, a prayer, and excluded Muslims? Would you have a problem with that?
No. Why
So
would
I think a lot of people would.
Is it out of respect? Is it out of respect, or they're just not part of it? Because I may be extremely naive, okay?
Okay.
And I'm fully aware of what I'm about to say. But maybe, just maybe, that, you know what? They have the right to practice theirs, and then this is ours. So we don't want to intrude on them. But even if that's not the case,
but you're being excluded.
Who cares?
There's probably a bunch of your teammates that would care.
But I don't think any coach, if you're truly a team coach, right? You're there for the actual kid development, to show them how to grow up and how to be raised the correct way. Then you include them all. And 2, you do whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect on the field, or at least I don't think it should. Again, I'm probably being super naive right now, and maybe that's not how the world works. And maybe there are people that take advantage of it. I don't care. I think, and the way this country is set up is everyone could do what the hell they want.
But you have to understand, there's a lot of people in this country that believe the Christian way is the only way. That if you believe in other religions, other beliefs, then there's something wrong with you. And those, they are excluded from prayer. They're excluded from activities because your way's not the right way.
We took a field trip when I was a kid. I want to say to Divine Child. And that wasn't offensive. And 30% of the class weren't Catholic. Probably more. What's the problem?
I think that's a little bit different. You're going to a Christian school, a Catholic school. You expect the Catholic way to be. We're talking about one group of supposedly equal players, and
how are they not equal? That's what I want to know.
I said they are equal. I just said they're equal. They're equal.
Sorry, excuse me.
We all, everybody doesn't want to pray. Everybody doesn't believe in religion, and there are some bigots who believe that if you believe in the Muslim way, that's not right. That's not what we're about.
That's great.
And we're going to exclude you.
Well, go start your own country. I don't care. I don't care what you believe in. Again, I
So
don't care.
You don't care if you're excluded or if you're looked down upon.
Me personally, again, I just come from I was raised differently. I was raised to respect any and everybody, regardless of who they were.
What if they're not respecting you?
Them praying without me is not disrespecting me, because that's their model and their way of praying. I don't know how they pray. I just sit there and kneel and go along with it. I don't know what the hell they're saying or what they're saying it to, right? You're a 13-year-old kid. What the hell are you supposed to know? But then you grow up and you're like, man, that was actually kind of cool. Looking back at it now, because they respected our prayer and I respected theirs. And that's like what this whole country's about.
They don't respect your prayer. That's the thing. Maybe at your school they did.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if somebody after a football game started a Muslim prayer and it's not in English, guess what? It's hitting the fan. There's going to be a lot of people upset.
I think a lot of people need to check themselves at the door and understand.
So you have to understand there is a double standard in this country.
Of course there is.
And you are not on the right side.
Uh-oh. Top of the hour coming up. When we get back, Terry, we're going to go back in history. Bad boy Pistons. A lot of optimism with this basketball team right now.
Yes.
And I really want you to walk everybody in the audience. I want you to walk them through how that team came about, from its origin, from when Isaiah was first drafted, even prior to when they made their first correct coaching decision. We'll get to all that in a bit, but before we do, Maddie, I got to tell everybody at home about the Mulligan, the official drink of the summer, whether you're on the golf course or hanging out in the backyard with Maddie or your friends. It doesn't matter what. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and gypsy vodka. The Mulligan is the drink. Try it at a local golf course near you, or visit TotalWine.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Well, if you're like me and you need to get your tan on every day, today you're not getting it outside. It's raining outside, so head on over to Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Don't forget, of course, to join the Pepper Club for all the best deals on unlimited tanning. Chili Peppers has the hottest bobs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans.
Chili Peppers Tan!
And here we are back on the Morning Woodward Show. Top of the hour brought to you by Bedrock Detroit.
Yeah, it
Terry.
is. Who? It is.
Terry, walk me through and walk everybody through what the journey was for the Bad Boy Pistons prior to Isaiah, Joe, Rodman, before it all became a beautiful team and they were the Bad Boy Pistons. Take me 4 or 5 years before that.
They were just bad. Pistons were never a good basketball team. They had bad management. They hired Dick Vitale. They just had bad coaching, bad leadership, played at Cobo Arena. So it was awful. And so the Pistons really needed a superstar. And so I think they got the number 2 pick in 80. If they had gotten the top pick, they would have picked Mark Aguirre. They would not have picked Isaiah Thomas. So sometimes it's good not to get the top pick. So they got Isaiah Thomas, and they had people like Kent Benson, Terry Tyler, just guys that they're just kind of out there. And they kept losing, but you saw this spark in this guy named Isaiah Thomas. And so I think the next significant move was getting Joe Dumars. So they had their backcourt. And this is sort of what Troy Weaver has done. He's got his backcourt. Kay Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. So it's the same as, in my mind, as getting Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Except the difference is Jaden Ivey is way more highly touted than Joe Dumars was, because Joe played at McNeese State. We never heard of him, and but that was the catalyst of the Pistons. And Isaiah and Joe would talk to each other on road trips and everything about what it would take to make this a championship team, because the Pistons weren't thinking about championships. They were thinking about just being good. So they needed that guy to say, guys, we're pushing towards championships. Forget winning 50 games. Forget winning a couple playoff series. Forget about being a threat. That's not what we should be interested in. So I think when you look back at it, Chuck Daly was he ended up being a Hall of Fame coach, but at the time, he was not highly regarded. He failed in Cleveland, and Jack McCloskey saw something in him and hired him. But this wasn't a guy that you thought, okay, he's not going to carry them to the championship. He will take them a long way, and then you got to get the next guy. Well, the next guy never came because the Pistons grew. They became the bad boys. They had an identity. And Chuck Daly was a coach that I don't even want to say that every player respected him, but they understood what he was doing. And Chuck Daly was a guy that played mind games with his team, and so that's what propelled them. Sometimes it was players against coach, because Chuck was doing crazy things. He would call a timeout and not say anything. And so some guys didn't respect that, but others understood what he was trying to do. So then the next step is to get your role players. Dennis Rodman, John Sally, that was the next big step. And Sal was a guy, your shot blocker. He wasn't a great offensive player, but he was active, and he was a rim protector. Dennis Rodman was a guy that they didn't think was going to turn into a Hall of Fame player because he had no offensive game. But he was so energetic that he became one of the most important players on the team. And certain nights he was more important than Isaiah Thomas. So that was huge right there. And the next part was you had this dissenter in the locker room, and that was Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley could get you 20 points. Adrian Dantley probably could have stayed, and they would have won championships.
Well, didn't they lose in the final with Dantley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But there was friction in the locker room. It was between AD and Isaiah Thomas. And you had two factions. You had the Adrian Dantley faction with Adrian, Joe Dumars, and to a certain point, John Sally, but Sal could go anyway. He was just, whatever's good for the team, I'll do. But he kind of liked Adrian Dantley and maybe wasn't an Isaiah guy at first and became one later. So they had to overcome dissension in the locker room, and they had to overcome a limited team. They were limited offensively. Not saying they were bad, but they could go through stretches where they wouldn't score points for like 6-7 minutes, but then the other team wasn't scoring much because they lock you down on defense. So this team was built on defense first. I don't know if this current team is going to be built on defense first.
Well, you look, Isaiah was drafted 81.
Yes.
1981, they missed the playoffs. 82 missed the playoffs. 83, Eastern Conference first round knocked out.
Yep.
First year under Chuck Daly, they make the playoffs. Second year under Chuck Daly, they go to the Eastern Conference semis. They get bounced. Then they get bounced in the first round the following year. So we're now 6 years into Isaiah Thomas's career. 5. And they've yet to get to an Eastern Conference final. But they've now been to the playoffs in 3 of those 5 years.
And by then, you would recognize this as a team that's going to be the next great thing.
And now you look at, let's compare it now to this team with the Detroit Pistons now. Cade Cunningham, year 1, missed the playoffs. I expect them to miss the playoffs in year 2. And by year 3, I think they're a team that probably loses in the first round. But you're going to see Cade Cunningham, rising star. Jaden Ivey, rising star. That's the projection, at least the way I see it right now. And then it was in year 6. They lose in the conference final. Then they lose in the finals to the Magic. And then they go on and win back-to-back titles.
Right.
So it took 7 years for that project to get to the finals, and 8 with Isaiah Thomas for him to win. You know what, that number 8 is such a magical number? You know who won a championship in year 8? Michael, LeBron, Steph. Look, there are superstars that win early. It happens. Shaq, year 7, I believe, or year 8. I believe, no, 2000 was their first title. The Lakers.
Right.
He was drafted in 92.
Here's the other thing you got to wait for. You got to wait for that team or teams who are in the 1 or 2 position to get old.
Fair, but you also need your team to get into their prime.
Right.
Because while you're trying to get into your prime, so let's just talk about this Pistons team now. But 4 years from now, Cade will be a 5-year vet. Bey will be a 6-year vet. And Ivy will be in year 4. All probably entering their prime, if they all work out the way you expect them to. Well, 4 years from now, Giannis is probably at the tail end of his career. KD in Brooklyn, they probably sold the team and they moved to Alaska. I don't know. Miami, they'll always be in contention because Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, and what they'll do in free agency. The Cleveland Cavaliers, young team. We'll see how they develop. The Orlando Magic, young team. We'll see how they develop. But 4 or 5 years from now, you're going to be the team that's contending in the conference finals. And then maybe year 6, year 7, year 8. Do you win a championship in Detroit? Who knows?
You know what the irony is? Is back then, Cleveland was a young team, and a lot of people thought Cleveland was going to be that team that took over for the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers, because they had Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, Larry Nance. They had a good team. And in fact, the year the Pistons won the championship, Pistons trailed Cleveland by 5 games in the division, and Cleveland had clowned them in a previous game. And so there was this huge game. Well, it wasn't huge at the time because everybody assumed the Pistons were going to lose. It ended up being a big game in Richfield Coliseum because Cleveland didn't play in Cleveland. So you assume, okay, Cleveland's going to win this game. They'll be up 6 games or 7 games, and it's going to be over. Well, that didn't happen. That was one of the pivotal games that we don't talk about. The Pistons ended up winning that game. I believe that was a game where Joe Dumars had 42 points, and he was sick. And one thing that Joe did is when he complained about the flu or he couldn't breathe, and the Pistons said, well, we don't know if Joe's going to play. If he did play, he's going to have a big game. And he always said that illnesses focus him more. Yeah, he had a hard time breathing. Yes, he felt uncomfortable, but it focused because he never wanted to be embarrassed on the basketball court. So I think that was the game. Joe had 42 points. Pistons won. And then within a matter of 2 weeks, they were in first place because Cleveland was like, damn, we did all of this, and they fell apart. So that was a factor also.
You look at the first few coaches that Isaiah had before Chuck, right? Didn't work out. Is Dwayne Casey that, or is he the Chuck Daly to this project? I think he isn't the Chuck Daly. I don't think he's anything more than a 2-year stopgap coach moving forward. And then they'll go after their guy, or the guy Troy Weaver believes can take them to the next level. Once they've made the playoffs and probably lost in the first round, then it's like, all right, Dwayne, thank you so much. You've been excellent. You've helped groom the team. but we're going in a different direction.
So what happened in Toronto?
So, and it paid off in Toronto. It's kind of lucky, but it paid off. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you need luck. We'll go to break. When we get back, can the Pistons be a serious threat in the East, or, as Terry said, are they just going to be back in the lottery now that they're out of the Miles Bridges and DeAndre Ayton sweepstakes? We'll get to that in a bit. But before we do, Maddie, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Yes, our friends at SMA help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com if you are struggling or know someone who is, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Well, there will be no outdoor activities happening today, which, Adam, means your baseball game is canceled, which also means you can go to the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck with me later today. The Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. They have two ways to play, $12 open unlimited play, or you can reserve a private lane for just $120. Don't forget, of course, they have a $2 mystery beer machine as well as multiple full bars. So check it out at thefullingwarehouse.com.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry?
Yes, sir.
Is this team going to be in the lottery again?
Yes. I think...
Or should we wait till after free agency?
We should. We are talking about this too soon, but that's what we do.
Ask me in November.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ask me in November. No, but I think Troy Weaver made a calculated, and I'm going to call it a risk. Now, if he was able to sign Miles Bridges and DeAndre Ayton, I fully expected the Pistons to be in at least the play-in game. What he is saying is, yes, if I did that, I'd have a better team short term, but I'm going to risk stuff because I think I can have a better team long term. So he's passing on Bridges and Ayton. I think it's a huge risk that he's taken, because yes, the free agent market is going to be more lucrative next year, but who's to say any of those guys are going to want to come here? You've got Miles Bridges and DeAndre Ayton who said, I wouldn't mind being a Piston. I'll come there and I'll ball and do my thing. You don't get that very often. Usually you get guys like, hey, you want to be a Piston? They go, I got something else to do. I don't want to talk about it. So I think he's making the wrong move because I just don't see free agents coming here. But you've already identified two. You would have had three guys, and I'm including Ivy, who would say, yep, I want to be a Detroit Piston. Let's roll. You don't get that very often.
Well, no, and that's why you're building through the draft, and that's why I think it's going to take 4 or 5 years. And I know it's
now
repetitive.
I'm on your 4 or 5 year plan. I think he could have done it a year earlier,
if they had gone for Bridges or
he
Ayton.
he may not have been sustainable. So that's the problem.
Yeah, look, you were 20 games out of 10th place. If you win 10 more games, you still would have missed the playoffs by 10 games last season. So let's say instead of 23 wins, Terry, for the sake of argument, they win 33 games. Well, I think everyone would sit there and say, okay, improvement. Nice to see.
They're playing
I'd
hard.
imagine 33 wins, meaning all the players worked out and they're developing well. Okay, I can get on that. But Isaiah Thomas, Cade Cunningham. Year 1, both missed the playoffs. Year 2, I expect both to miss the playoffs. Isaiah Thomas, year 3, they get bounced in the first round. So not this season, not this upcoming season, but the next. I think it's fair to have at least 9, 8 seed expectations, or at least play-in expectations, along with we're probably going to get 4-1 in the first round. But we're early in the process, right?
You're early in the process, but you had an opportunity to expedite the process. But in Troy Weaver's mind, he feels he can do better if he waits a year.
And I believe he can, because the only issue with Bridges or Ayton is that this is a guard and a wing star-driven league. Nikola Jokic, for his MVPs and how fantastic he is, not much playoff success. Why? Because he's dependent on his guards to actually do something. It's a team game. But as a guard or as a wing, you have a lot more control over the game of basketball. Nikola Jokic, I mean, him and Embiid are fantastic. But Ayton and Miles Bridges are not that.
They're not, but you got your guards.
You got your guards, but they need time. So even if you brought in Ayton, by the time Ayton's contract expires, you're probably then ready to compete, and that'll be without him. But then again, you drafted Jalen Duren, and I think that eliminated the Ayton idea. So I'm good with Duren over Ayton. And then the Bridges conversation, they didn't want to pay the money. You don't want to give him a max deal. He's not a max player. He just isn't. As much as you like, and I like Miles Bridges, I like him a lot. I think he would have been a good fit on this team. But you can't pay him max money.
Guess what? Next year, they're going to give a guy max money. And you know what you're going to say? It's not a max player. But the Pistons had to sign him.
Well, let's look at next year. You have LeBron James, not going to happen.
No.
James Harden, never going to happen. I won't allow it.
Nor should it. Yeah, you're not going to have it.
Russell Westbrook, not going to happen.
And he won't allow it.
I would rather die. Chris Middleton.
Why are you going to be dramatic?
No, I'm not. I'm just being honest. I would rather go 100 years of the Detroit Pistons not making the playoffs one motherfucking time than Russell Westbrook spend one fucking season here.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry there.
Speaking of drama.
Kyrie Irving, no. We have requirements here in Detroit. We have standards. You have to believe that the earth is not flat to be on this basketball team. That is a requirement. Kristaps Porzingis, I don't think we'll go after. Kevin Love, no one's interested. Andrew Wiggins, okay, maybe. I don't think so. Nikola Jokic, that's a nice one. But he's probably taking the Supermax and staying in Denver likely. There's nobody in here that you're going to give a max contract to that's available. You're not giving it to Karis LeVert, Eric Bledsoe, Bogdanovich. Hell no, he's 34. Jeremy Grant, no.
Which of those guys would you rather have than Miles Bridges?
I mean, Jokic, of course, but he's not.
Staying.
Yeah,
I'm talking about that may be somewhat attainable.
I would, depending on how the next two seasons, really depending on how this season goes, I'm looking for a guy, probably Gary Trent. I'd be willing to pay a little more than what I'd want. That's a
what
tricky
about Wiggins?
One. No, Wiggins is tricky.
Very tricky.
Because he's kind of Jaden Ivey, except, yeah, he's kind of Jaden Ivey, right? He can attack the rim, explosive, athletic. He's now developed a three-point shot. That's what you expect Jaden Ivey to become, but maybe a better version of that. How does it fit? I'm not sure. And then you look a year from now, Wiggins will be almost 30 years old.
Right. So are they making a mistake by passing on Miles Bridges?
I don't think so. I think we're learning that you're not going to build this team through free agency. The players,
but they're going to sign free agents next year.
They're going to sign free agents, but the free agents they're going to sign are likely Josh Richardson, Kelly Oubre. They're probably going to sign, Josh Hart maybe, not really. Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, Christian Wood. You're not going to get the premier top 5, top 10 talent. And
don't make fun of Brook Lopez. I like him.
I like him. Yeah, no, I'm saying that's the kind of player they're going to get.
I thought you were making fun of
him. This is why you built through the draft. Because, Terry, we're playing the wait game, man. We're going to be here 4 years from now waiting. Because Cade needs time, Ivy needs time, and Sadiq Bey needs time. Now, do they need 6 years? No, they don't. Can they be a first-round team, a second-round team 3 years from now? I think so. Can they be in the Eastern Conference in 2 years? Final? I don't think so in 2 years. But maybe 4. I could buy 4 years. 4 years, if you told me Pistons are in the Eastern Conference Finals, Adam, I would say, yeah, it makes sense. Timeline kind of adds up. Free agents. You have this young core 3 growing together. Yeah, I can get behind it. So, again, it is a weight game. I think that's another aspect is I see where they're going. I've seen how Boston was built. I've seen how Golden State was built. And I think they're a hybrid of somewhere in between both. And I think they're going to share that 4 or 5
All right, brother,
timeline.
let me ask you a question. Yes or no, the Pistons are making the playoffs this season, this upcoming season?
No.
All right. Hey, Adam, did you hear what happened? The Pistons just signed Miles Bridges.
They're not playing.
And DeAndre Ayton. Hey, are they going to make the playoffs this year?
Yes.
Okay. So you're willing to sacrifice that play-in game for what you think they can do in free agency next year. That's essentially what this is coming down to.
You have to look at what's next. Let's say you pay Bridges the max, okay? And he comes to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we're being honest here, if Saddiq Bey puts up 22 this year and 24 the following, like we expect him to, he's just developing as a scorer, he's going to command max money somewhere. So you're going to have to pay him max money. Cade Cunningham, 3 years from now, will command max money. And Jaden Ivey, 4 or 5 years from now, will command that contract. And that all fits. That all happens while Miles Bridges is on this team. That's something also to consider, which means you're not going to have a deep team. You're just going to have your core 3 4 years from now, and that's about it. Because of Miles Bridges' contract. Instead, would I rather have those 3 be my main 3 and then have a bunch of nice players that give me a squad depth of maybe 9 or 10? I'd love that. And I think that's probably part of Troy Weaver's decision is Miles Bridges worth not being deep 3 years from now? And I think his answer was no.
It's calculated risk that could blow up in his face.
It is. And it definitely can blow up. But we'll see what happens. We need to go to break. When we get back, Terry, this whole boxing thing, I think
it's ridiculous.
I miss boxing. I'm not even old. I grew up with late Roy Jones Jr., very late Mike Tyson. I grew up. Floyd was nice to watch. I think Floyd is amazing, but boxing is never good unless the heavyweight division is good. But we'll get to that.
You know what else is wrong? These young people around here enjoy crappy boxing.
I don't, but there are a lot of people.
It's entertainment. It's no longer boxing, Terry.
Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Before we go, I got to tell you about our good friends over at Lady Jane's. They'll take care of you like they take care of me, of course. Guys, there's nothing better and easier than getting a haircut at Lady Jane's. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like, of course, they take care of me. Walk in any Lady Jane's. Open 10-8, 7 days a week. Again, walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Lady Jane's, haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Go to OddsTrader.com right now for your best bet.
And we're back. Don't look at me like that.
Like what? This is how I look at you all day.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you deal with me.
Young Adam,
Yeah.
why must you throw things at her during her reads?
She has it coming.
And rub your nipples.
I did no such thing.
Yeah, you haven't rubbed your nipples in almost a week.
Yeah, I'm on a detox.
What'd you say?
He hasn't rubbed his nipples in almost a week.
I'm on a
did it
detox right
yesterday.
now.
Yeah, I think so. You did it
I'm
yesterday.
going through rehab. All right, Terry. I didn't grow up in the age of probably the better years of boxing.
Right.
We know.
The 80s, even the early to late 90s, boxing at its peak. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you, Terry. Boxing is what it is now. And I think this is the way boxing needs to go, which is entertainment. It's no longer Holyfield Tyson, Manny Pacquiao Floyd. It's not. Roy Jones Jr., Lennox Lewis. It'll never be that again. It'll never be that. And the way to make money in boxing is to sell the big fight. And the fights now are about entertainment, not about boxing. That's why you're seeing all these kids and even athletes fighting each other. It makes money. It makes money. So
who in their right mind wants to see Le'Veon Bell fight Adrian Peterson?
I don't know, but there is a market for it, Terry. There's a market for it. I
guess
people
so.
want to watch it.
If you got YouTube stars boxing, then it's all about the personality.
Well, now people want to see Logan Paul and Jake Paul get knocked out.
They wanted to see that a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but now they're intrigued to see who's gonna they're trying to get Conor McGregor.
Right.
Dude, you're gonna get killed by Conor McGregor if he even fights that hard.
Well, that's the thing. Conor McGregor may not fight that hard because he likes these guys.
Well, and he just gets the money, so
Right.
It's crazy
He
to
doesn't
me
need
how
to.
a boxing match generates 100x
Mhm.
what a UFC fight could. It's unbelievable. It's obviously more global, and the UFC is much younger than boxing. But yeah, these fights, Terry, just get used to it. I'm telling you, one day you're gonna see trending on Fox 2 News, Adham and Terry Foster celebrity boxing match.
I was in a celebrity boxing match.
Rod
Really?
Parker.
Yeah, I fought Rod Parker.
How'd that go?
I beat his ass.
Hell yeah, you did.
But to me, that wasn't a real fight because we had to use these
Picture
gloves.
it didn't happen.
Huh?
Picture it didn't happen.
There's a video.
Is there?
At,
you said it was like buried in the Joe Louis
Yeah,
Arena
we
or
gotta
something?
find it. No, it's at Little Caesars Arena
Oh, it is
somewhere.
Little Caesars. Okay.
So, no, they had fight night at the Palace. They used to do that every month. And then they asked Rob and I to do a celebrity boxing match. So, I think in my corner was Emmanuel Stewart. And then his was Michael Moore, who was a boxer at the time. But they made us use these huge gloves. It felt like they weighed like 3 or 4 pounds each because my arms were tired from popping upside the head so much.
Did you have
to me,
had
that wasn't a real boxing match because we didn't really have real boxing gloves. There were things that we grabbed hold of a bar in the middle of these gloves and fought with them.
Did you have headgear too?
We had headgear.
Yeah. Probably 'cause they didn't want to kill you guys.
Rob wasn't going to kill me. So
love that.
he wrote this baloney column the next day that said he fought me and that he won and he got robbed.
Would you want to do a rematch?
Huh?
Rematch? Would you ever do a rematch with him?
Nah, because he's a scrub. He's not athletic. He's no fun. And in fact, Emmanuel Stewart, after the first 2 rounds, he told me this. Okay, you made your point. You can take it easy on him. That was what he told me. I can't clown that.
Say what you
Bam.
want, Terry.
Attaboy, Terry.
We need to have a watch party.
I think so. We need to call in a favor at
If
Little
we
Caesars.
can find that, we will have a watch party.
Good, we should.
Yep.
Here, I'll make you a deal, Chris Illich.
Oh boy.
Let us access the archives, and I will buy season tickets to the Detroit Red
Okay,
Wings.
I don't think Chris Illich has it. The Pistons do. because it was fighting out at the Palace.
That's true.
So they probably
then
hid
we're
it
good then, because we're good with the
They
Pistons.
probably hid it from Chris.
Do you have an
Simmons.
idea of where it is in the Palace?
Corey Woods, it was working on it because he worked there. He worked for the Pistons.
He's
And
not working hard enough.
Yeah, he's not working
Corey?
hard enough. It's been like
We have
a
to
year
have a
since
chat.
So you
brought
asked
this
Corey
up.
to do it, and he hasn't done it?
yeah, he hasn't. He's probably forgotten it now.
Yeah, clearly. Bust him up.
Welcome to Corey Woods to the show, if he answers, which
He'll
hopefully he
answer.
will.
He better answer.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, you're live on the show.
Okay. What's doing?
All right, we got beef.
We got beef?
Yeah. Where the hell's that footage of Terry kicking Rob Parker's, whatever his name is?
Rob Parker's ass.
I've been looking on a personal hunt for that footage ever since Terry told me about it, and then Rob sent me a picture of the a clipping of the fight.
All right, well, where's the video?
I have no idea where the video is.
Can you ask somebody in the? Do you have a connect to LCA or no?
You know what? I have to see if the Pistons move their tape libraries at, because there's another video I need for my internship there, so I'll definitely be on the hunt for it.
Yeah, reach out and if you need some pull, CC Joey in the email.
All right.
He's good with everyone at LCA.
All right, bet. I'll make sure I get on the hunt on it.
All right, try to get that leaked footage.
All right.
All right.
You know what probably happened is they probably forgot to remove the footage from the Palace. Probably got buried in all the rubble.
Maybe. I don't know.
But Corey swears it's at LCA somewhere.
I hope so. I really want to see this.
All right.
I really do.
I want to make an appeal. If anybody out there is listening that works for the Pistons or even the Red Wings, because it's in the same building, and you know something about video, can you try to find the video? Because I think Corey is lying to us. He is not looking for that video. He probably looked for a couple days and said, forget it, I can't find it.
I have a couple connections with the Pistons. I can see what I can do.
I thought your connection was traded away.
She can make a new connection.
It's
Terry,
actually
don't worry.
funny because it's through him too.
Oh, okay. Then
she can make a new connection.
Can
don't
you
worry.
work it?
I'll figure it out.
Baby, I want to see you work it. Go diggity.
I like to bag it up.
Oh, goodness. When we get back, continue the show. Mailbag at 9:50. Going to be fun. But before we do, Maddie, the lifestyle beverage that is Cintron.
Yes, the summer of Cintron is here, and it's now available at your local Kroger. So make sure you pick some up while you're shopping. Right now, you can get 2 for just $4. That's an absolute steal. Cintron is a new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hey, Scott from Woodward Bet Show. Hey, we've been red hot lately. You guys got to make sure you're tuning in and checking us out. And plus, today's Wednesday. Our girl Kelly's going to be on. She's predicted the last 2 PGA Tour winners in a row. So, hey, make sure you're checking that out. You also got to make sure you check out oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But, hey, let's get back to that winner. We got to stay hot. We're looking for the Angels today. Shohei's on the mound. Kopech for the White Sox. Velocity's down a little bit. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Open all summer long, Memorial Day to Labor Day. Bedrock Detroit brings you the Monroe Street Midway. It'll have everything you need, from live events, mini golf, live music, food trucks, roller skating, basketball. They got it all. Free Wi-Fi so you can work from the park. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information and have a great time. Brought to you by Bedrock Detroit. Here we are.
Sorry.
I want an
it's
apology from Adham.
Me?
Yes.
The hell did I do?
We love that.
What did you do?
What do you not do?
I know what he's thinking in his mind. He won't say it out loud. You're thinking Rob did beat me.
Oh, hell no. I think
No,
you busted up.
that's
No. Because Rob's a good dude. The whole Tom Brady thing. I think you whip his ass there. You're cut from a different cloth.
All right, that's why I want this video to be found. because Rob convinced Corey that he beat me. So Corey and you believe that Rob beat me. So
I feel like you're scared. Like
I'm
you're
scared.
trying to be defensive. Like maybe you did lose.
No.
See,
I
Maddie's
want
talking
the
shit.
video to be
course I
unveiled.
am.
I got your back, Terry. You know, shut up, Maddie. Mute her mic. What are you doing here? You could
Yeah,
have done
Maddie,
that from
made
your
no
booth.
sense.
do
I
you
am
mean?
screaming, please find the video. And you say, oh, it sounds like you're scared. Ooh. If I was scared, I'd be saying, you know what?
I hate you guys
I just
so
heard
much.
the video can't be found. That's too bad. I want you to work your connections.
Maybe you
Huh?
actually destroyed the video and you're like telling everybody to go find it because you destroyed it because you don't want everybody to know you lost.
See, I think Maddie's just upset about what happened yesterday, so she's
What
taking her
happened
anger out on you.
yesterday?
Oh, we don't got to talk about it.
See, I think it's Maddie
That
doesn't like
disappointment.
me.
Don't you guys hear it? That disappointment.
I need her to like me.
Terry, I love you.
But you think I lost to Rob?
No.
So that's 3 of you.
No, I just like to talk shit. It's my favorite pastime.
Oh goodness, Terry.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna wrap up the show with this. I dog Avila a lot. I'm fully aware. I'm gonna try not to for the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be super hard.
Because I have an honest question.
All right.
I like the Austin Meadows trade. Just full disclosure. I
Okay.
thought it was a good trade.
Right.
You wasted Isaac Paredes by not giving him enough reps for Jamer Candelario. That's a front office problem. But more than just Avila, because I don't want to talk about him right now. Do the Tigers have a growing talent issue within their organization?
I think we have to look at that. I think that's a possibility. Because with Paredes, when he went to Tampa, what does Tampa do? They develop talent. They don't get the best talent because they don't want to pay him. But they get guys in their system. And Paredes maybe didn't get enough reps. But when they traded him, I was like, well, so what? Big deal. Now, I think he's got 10 homers.
Yep.
He's batting over 300. OPS is doubled. So there's got to be something in the brew. And then when you look at the Tigers this year, and I keep hearing, well, you know, these are guys that they've done it before, so they'll do it again. Well, everybody in a Tiger uniform, maybe outside of Riley Green, who's only been in for 10 minutes, has fallen by the wayside. So I question I question the development that the Tigers are doing for their players, because it's not just about bringing in talented guys and giving them opportunities to hit. It's you're working with them on the side, you're coaching them up, you're showing them deficiencies that they have in their swing, and that's how you develop players. And it looks like the Tigers, at least from a positional standpoint, are not doing that. Pitching wise, yeah. I mean, you got one of the better coaches in Fetter.
Yeah, I don't think it just comes down to coaching too. It comes down to off the diamond. What are you doing to improve? Spencer Torkelson is now well over 55 games played in the season.
Yes.
He's struggling, and it's not good. And he's batting under 200, and that is not good. And just because everybody around him sucks doesn't mean he needs to suck. He is struggling at the plate. Yes, he has good at-bats. This is starting to look like, fundamentally, from the janitor all the way to the CEO, all the way up to the GM, the president, I don't care who. It looks like the Tigers are very, very poorly ran. Very reminiscent, by the way, of talent evaluation and growing talent under not only Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, but if you want to even go back to the Matt Millen days, where not only was it a new coach every other year, but you weren't developing the players you were drafting. You can't pick top 5 every year,
right,
and not hit on a single player. The second, third rounders never worked out. I mean, it was, call it what it is. The Tigers right now are at the edge of the mountain, or excuse me, edge of the cliff. And they're about to fall off, and they're going to become the Detroit Lions. And the way they can stop themselves from becoming the Detroit Lions is, 1, getting rid of the GM, 2, allowing the new GM to come in and a new president to come in and clean house and identify what staff is good and what staff isn't, and get rid of the staff that's not good and move on and try to bring back winning baseball to Detroit. Or you can keep them and everybody can keep their jobs and everybody can feel safe and you can fall off the cliff and become the Detroit Lions.
That's what's happening right now. You know the scary thing? Nobody from the Justin Verlander or J.D. Martinez trade has worked out. Even if Avila was a complete boob, you would think one guy would be contributing to this team by now. But none of them are. So, part of it may be Avila got the wrong guys. But secondly, I kind of wonder, once the Tigers get young talent, are they developing?
They're not. And you look at Isaac Paredes as another example of, I'm not mad about the trade. I actually think at face value, to this day, you made a winning trade, a winning decision. We want to win right now, and we believe he gives us more of an opportunity than this kid. Fine. My issue is not with the trade. My issue is he's been here for over 3 years. In and out of the lineup, played what, most in a single season, 20, 30 games? 40 games, maybe?
But he have 200 bats here?
Not even.
But they were spread out.
Not even, yeah. It was over 2-3 years. The point is, nobody spotted that. Candelario doesn't look better than Paredes. Javi Baez, not looking better than Paredes. And the problem with Baez is he's a streaky hitter. When he's on, Terry, Baez is one of the best hitters in baseball. He is. When he's on, he'll go 2 weeks batting .370, 6 home runs, 13, 15 RBIs. And you'll be like, damn. And then he'll go the next 4, 5, 6 weeks batting .113, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs. That's Javi Baez.
True that. However, there was a definite flaw in his game. Everybody saw it. And I wonder, why didn't the Tigers emphasize to him harder? Stop reaching for balls that are 9 inches off the plate. I mean, this wasn't a guy that was in a slump. This was a guy that was in a mental fog. He's just chasing everything. And he said he couldn't see the baseball. Well, you can't see it when the ball was way down here.
When you can't pay an extra $10 million to get the guy your manager wanted originally, that's a problem. That's a problem.
And you know what? Maybe this is another Chris Ilitch thing.
Again, it is.
Didn't Correas and A.J. Hinch have lunch?
Yes.
Do you think they were just talking about the kids? No. A.J. either made it known he really wanted him or didn't want him during that lunch. We don't know what it is. We assume they had lunch because A.J. Hinch wanted him on this team. And the Tigers were not creative enough to bring him here.
The truth is, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, for all of Avila's faults, and again, you can look at the entire organization, Terry, but he is the president and the GM. He's not the GM only, where he's just a baseball guy making only baseball decisions. He's hiring and building these staffs and hiring all these departments. And he's responsible for all of them. If Woodward Sports fails, that's on me and our leadership team. That's not on Fish. That's not on Terry. That's not on Alex. That's not how this works.
But I'll take full responsibility.
You can, because you're a good dude. But the truth is, you look at the top, how is it being ran? Who's the leadership team? And right now, your leadership team, your president and GM is Avila. Your owner is Chris Ilitch. And it's not working. It's not working. Mailbag time coming up. Get your questions in the chat. Any and all questions, of course, as always, whether it's about Maddie being wet this morning or Terry beating up Rob Parker. We will return in just a few, but before we do, Maddie, the best defense on and off the court.
Yes, summertime in here. Wow.
Summertime swam.
Summertime
Throw Maddie
is
a
here,
towel.
and that means spending more time outside. Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you are out enjoying the sunshine. Give them a call at 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
Damn.
You can rest easy knowing that you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
When you need apparel, there is only one place to go, and that's Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
All right, first question from Jack. Jack always asking the great questions. Maddie, how much would it take for you to slap Adham in the face on air?
Literally nothing.
Yeah. That's the answer I expected. For everyone else on the desk except Adham, so Maddie, Fitch, Terry, and Alex, you can answer this too.
I
Is
actually
Adham
smashed
the
a
devil?
pie in your face.
I think
Remember that?
I think Maddie would pay to slap you. You wouldn't have to pay her. She'd pay somebody.
Hey, do you remember I smashed a pie in your face?
Yep.
Adam is not the devil. Actually, that used to be my name from my ex-mother-in-law.
Devil.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
deep.
Wow.
I was not expecting that this morning. Terry, Adam, true or false, does Maddie have a one drink this weekend? Second question to everyone, what are your top 3 college stadiums you would want to see a game at? Interesting.
Now, does she only have one drink, or is she going to have a drink this weekend?
I
Is
think
that
she's
the
going to
question?
have a drink.
Yeah,
That's,
it's
Oh,
over.
yeah. She'll,
no question.
Easily over.
When was the last weekend she did not have a drink?
Like 2 weekends ago, right?
Oh, this is
Yeah.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
drink a whole
over.
lot on the weekends because I work.
Yeah, it's still
But you
over.
drink.
It's still over.
I can't drink at
Still
work.
over.
You don't have like a little after work cocktail? Is it too late?
No, because it's 4 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
But that's middle of the day. That's middle of the day. She has
No,
at
it's
least
4
one.
a.m. It's pretty
Fish,
late.
I'll listen to the argument when you start drinking.
All right, what
Okay.
college football stadium do I want to see a game?
Yeah.
I think mine is pretty. I would like to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
Not just because Alabama's great, because they have the atmosphere, they have the little
Roll
girl-
Tide.
Yeah.
Roll Tide, and they have the little girls doing all this kind of stuff.
I mean, every
There's-
team
every
there are
team
three
has
games.
little girls doing
There
that.
are 3 games I would bucket list to go to,
Michigan, Ohio State.
which I did this year, by
Yep.
the way. That one got checked off.
Probably Alabama,
I'll
Auburn.
probably have to go to Columbus is the next one. That's probably the next one. But
I've done Columbus.
I want to do
Okay.
the Army game.
Ooh,
every end
I
of the
would
year.
love that.
Army,
Yeah, I
Navy.
do want to go to that game.
Alabama,
And then I would
Auburn.
say any home game that's hosted by. I'm debating between Texas and Florida. Florida's fan base
the
is.
Swamp.
The swamp is insane, so definitely would want to see a game down there.
Why not Alabama, Auburn?
Nah,
I've still never
Do
been to the
anything?
big house.
Oh, wow.
You never been to the big house?
You know what?
Ooh.
You're not missing much.
Ooh.
Those are fighting words, Terry.
It's not. I mean,
I think it's pretty cool.
It's cool, but it's not the crowd is just
Well, yeah, the crowd is.
Yeah, and I always get this argument with Braylon. He said, "Well, it's an open bowl." I said,
I don't
sound."
care.
I said, "Dude, there's a bunch of
The
blue
crowd's
hairs
like
there."
Yeah, it's like a bird nest. No one's doing anything.
You know what? You'd have a good time at the Florida-Georgia game because that's the big
But isn't that in
cocktail
Jacksonville,
party.
though? Isn't that in Jacksonville?
Yes,
Don't
in
they play that
Jacksonville,
a
but it's the
neutral site?
biggest cocktail party in the world or something like that.
Interesting.
Terry likes a good cocktail
you wouldn't
party.
want to go to Texas.
Why?
I have friends that go to Texas games. They say it's too damn hot.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I bet.
Yeah, even in November and October, they just go out there and they say they boil.
Which team will win a playoff game between the Lions, between the Lions, Wings, and Pistons?
Ooh.
I'm a Wings guy.
Wings.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the Wings.
Red Wings.
Steve Eisenman, he's not as flashy as Troy Weaver, but I think he's already got the process going. He's got his defenseman. He's kind of doing it like Colorado does. I'm sure now he's going to add fast skaters and he'll overhaul I just believe in that guy.
Fair enough. Maddie, are you going to be attending the Space Dogs games on Thursdays now? It's a league with Stick and myself. Softball.
I could do that.
I think you, Fish, Alex, and Terry. You guys should all come.
Where at?
First game is this Thursday.
Is that tomorrow? That's tomorrow.
The artist, the musician that I manage, has a performance on
What
Thursday.
time?
Tangent Gallery at like 10. So I guess I could come before
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's at 6:25.
Yeah, the game's at early, yeah.
Okay, where is it?
where
Drake
is
Field, Drake Park, something
Where's
like that.
that?
That's near.
I don't know.
Where I live.
That's near.
It's
yeah.
on.
It's like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah,
it's on
not far.
Drake Road, West Bloomfield.
Yeah, it's in Bloomfield, yeah.
What's it called?
Drake Park?
Drake
yeah.
Park.
Drake Field, I think, or Park, whatever.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, it's Drake Park, and you're on a field.
It's in Farmington?
Yeah.
No, that's West Bloomfield.
No.
Is it West Bloomfield?
I don't know.
It says Farmington.
Whatever it is, hit directions. How far is it?
It is
15 minutes?
26 minutes.
It is not 26 minutes from here.
That's what it says.
It's a lot.
Oh, there's an accident.
Oh, okay, well, that helps.
There you go.
It's 15 miles.
Anyways, other questions.
Sounds
Maddie's
about
a
right.
music manager. Maddie, would you care to?
I am. Yes, I manage one musician.
Hey, wrap it up.
All right.
What's his name?
Booster.
Booster?
Mm-hmm.
Like a rooster.
Yeah.
What is what
Yes,
kind of
a
music
Booster.
does Booster play?
He plays soul music.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
All right, he's a soul
That's
He
man.
performs at Tangent Gallery on Thursday.
How do you
He's
not?
amazing. Probably the
Good.
best musician I've ever witnessed in my
Now,
life. So.
do they call it soul anymore? Isn't it R&B?
Oh, it's soul, baby.
So he's really old school, like 50s and 60s and stuff.
He is unexplainable, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
He's got a different.
He's a surprise.
He is.
Okay, we like that.
He has a different
He's
sound.
he's got talents in a lot of places, Terry. Let's just put it that way.
I was thinking you were
What
going to go somewhere
venues
crazy.
does he play? What's like the last?
He's playing at Tangent Gallery on Thursday.
Where's
which is
that?
in Detroit.
Tangent Gallery.
Yeah.
Place you've never heard of.
I never heard of it.
It's an awesome venue.
Okay.
But he plays kind of everywhere. He's really involved with his church and puts on all their performances and everything like that.
What did this venue hold? 300, 200?
I have no idea.
Okay.
If you could sacrifice one Detroit sports team, what team would you choose and why? That's a good one. Oh God! Given the current trajectory, I would.
Sacrifice?
I would.
Ooh, I like
than,
this question.
I would be more than willing to sacrifice the Tigers right now. The problem is historically, if it's in a vacuum over the last 70 years, you're probably throwing the Lions away. But if we're going off of this season, or really the last 6 months, we're probably throwing away the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah,
The Tigers.
Yeah.
I would sacrifice the Detroit Pistons.
What?
Because fewer.
Fuck you, man. What? You would rather watch baseball instead of basketball?
Fewer people care about the Pistons than any other sport, so it would affect the fewest amount of people. So that's why I would do that.
I can't
Jeff
go
is
without.
probably so heated in the
Yeah,
background.
I can't. I can't believe
Well,
it.
that's you. But when you look at the sports
Well,
teams,
fuck you and people who think like you.
when you look at the sports teams by popularity, number one,
Lions.
Detroit Lions, 2 of the Tigers, 3 of the
That's
Red
old.
Wings,
That's old news.
4 of
It's
the
changed.
Pistons.
It's changed.
Now the people around here,
Yeah, I would say Pistons.
probably Pistons are number 1.
Yeah.
Even
It would
over
be
the
Lions,
Lions.
Pistons, Wings, Tigers in that order.
Around here,
Around here in data that we have from all the shows we've done.
They love the Pistons.
They do
around
love
here.
the Pistons.
But I'm talking about the
close.
entire metro area. I'm not just talking Woodward Sports.
Well, you know,
Pistons
again,
are
that's
4
why
on
if
the
I was a
list.
dictator, we'd be better off because I would eliminate these people and we wouldn't have these problems.
So what team would you get rid of the Tigers?
Yes.
So we'd have nothing to do
I'd
in
take
the
them
summer.
to the guillotine.
Okay.
Okay, we got to end off the
But
show.
I can't use a guillotine on Avila. It's not strong enough to get through all that fat.
We got to end
we gotta
the show.
Go. Hope you all have a great rest of your Today's Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday.
Hump day. Have a great rest of your hump
middle
day.
of the week.
We're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Check out Big D at 11 o'clock.
No smoking.
Have a great day.
Call me, beat me.